Oh, Glenda, just one word, please.
Yes, Mr. Pollard.
Your relative, Mr. Soper, how long is
Uncle
it?
Wally. Well, how do you know him?
Well, he was here last night. It's not that I have
Here?
anything...
Well, I thought he went to the Red Lion.
Yes, well, you see, I was going to suggest I think he'd be much happier at that establishment, much more at home. I'm sure you'll understand.
Yes, Mr. Pollard. I'm very sorry. I hope he didn't cause any bother.
Oh, no bother. A little embarrassment. Thank you very much.
Glenda, I met your Uncle Wally last night. Bit of a card.
I'll kill him when I get home. He had no right coming here. He didn't do anything awful, did he?
Well, apart from calling his nibs of Rudolph Valentino. Oh. You tell him, though, I want my £5 back.
What, you mean he borrowed money off you?
Yes, it was lucky I was here. I'd been in a right mess.
Oh, Mrs. Harvey, I am sorry. When I've done the teas, I'll give it you back.
Oh, no hurry. Just tell him I want it back, though.
I've got as much chance of getting that money back from him as Mum has of getting a keep from him. No, I'll give you the money. But make sure he pays me back. Tomorrow, if not sooner.
How did it go last night, then? You never said?
Oh, all right. She gave us a lovely supper. Asparagus soup and chicken and all sorts.
No, I'm not interested in food, Kath. You know, I'm talking about attitudes, sociability.
I went off all right.
You know, you were always as transparent as glass.
What do you mean?
Something happened last night, didn't it? I knew when I saw young Glenda this morning. She's been putting her foot in it again, hasn't she?
No, she has not. And even if she has, it's none of your business. Now, come on. Finish your tea. I want to get washed up before they come back.
Washed up? Oh, no.
What?
I'm doing the washing up.
You? Well, it'll be the first time. Then put it down, Wally.
Hi.
Hello, love.
Mum, could I have a chat with you before Glenda gets home?
Yes, of course you can, love.
Excuse me. Hey, Kevin, your mother, I hear, keeps a beautiful table.
What?
Aye, asparagus, eh?
No soup, I said. Asparagus soup.
Asparagus. Oh.
When is he going to take a bath?
Well, I have asked him. Oh, Wally, leave it on the drainer, will you? I'll wash up later.
No, I'm not going to be accused of not doing my share.
I've been thinking about Mum, about her attitude last night.
Spoons.
What?
I left spoons behind. Hey, I'd like to meet your mother sometime, Kevin. Maybe the next time you're motoring over there.
That the lot now, Uncle Wally?
Oh, that's...
All right.
That's the lot, yes.
Look, I'd leave it if I were you, love. That's the best thing. I mean, Glenda shouldn't have told her. Perhaps it was a shock.
She's got to learn to accept the situation like you did. She's got to realise how much Glenda wants that bait.
Shh, you never know if he's listening.
I keep forgetting.
Wish I could.
There's nothing I can do about it, Mr. Winter. I'm afraid Sharon is not here at the moment. Yeah. Well, I'll get her to give you a ring when she comes back. Okay, bye.
I take it that's the truth,
What's that?
that Sharon isn't here.
Yes.
She's not conveniently out of the room in case of nasty phone calls. I do that all the time.
She doesn't.
I must make a note of that. Well, will she be long, wherever she is?
Well, it's hard to say.
Go on. Have a try.
She's checking the tills of the kiosk.
Well, it shouldn't take long. I think I'll wait. I'm Mrs. Pollard, by the way.
Yes, I know.
And there you have the advantage over me.
Joe MacDonald.
I bet they call you Mac, don't they?
You've got it.
Do you come from the Caribbean by any chance?
Mosley.
I think I know that, Mosley.
It's a bit different.
Tell me, Mac, how are things here in the garage?
What things?
Well, is there any unease at the thought of a changeover?
Oh, that. Oh, no. There's nothing we can do about it. But, so we don't do anything about it.
Interesting. Oh, good. I've caught you.
The last thing I want is catching. I've been getting away with murder all morning.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Winter's been on the phone. He's doing his nuts.
Oh, cancel that last statement. And
I told him you'll give him a call.
thank you very much. Right, now what can we do for you?
Well, nothing, really.
Do you know that's the best news I've had all day?
I just like a little word, an off-the-cuff chat, you might say.
About what?
About 6:30 in the bar.
want a word with you, Uncle Wally.
Oh, hello, love. You've had a hard day.
Never mind what sort of day I've had. What's all this I've been hearing about you borrowing a fiver off Mrs. Harvey?
Oh, is that her name? Nice girl. She told you about it, didn't
Oh,
she?
yes, she told me. I've never been so embarrassed in my life.
Oh, not so embarrassed as you would be if she hadn't. I could have been thrown out of there on my elbow.
You have got a nerve, haven't you? All right, then, come on. Hand it over.
Eh?
I paid Mrs. Harvey back, so you owe me the fiver now.
Oh, well, look, I'm a bit short, Glenda, at the present moment. Could you leave it till next week, like? You know, I might have a bit of a windfall.
I shan't forget, you know.
No, I mean, I won't forget either, but, you know, next week, eh?
If you're still here.
Hello.
Hello.
There's plenty of hot water left, Uncle Wally. Why don't you have that shave and wash you've been promising yourself?
You know, I will. It's got my pap. It'll freshen me up.
Freshen us all up.
I've just about had enough of him.
What?
Do you know what he did last night? He only went over to the motel and ran up a bill for a slap-up meal. Had to borrow a fiver off Mrs. Harvey to pay for it.
I'm more fool her for giving it to him.
Well, how would it have looked if she hadn't? Mr. Paul was already being snooty about him being there in the first place. Suggested he might find the pub more to his liking in the future.
Well, I've got no right to say that. And Uncle Wally or the Duke of Edinburgh got as much right to be served. Did you give the fiver to Mrs. Harvey?
Well, of course I did. Now I'm £5 short.
Flaming nuisance. I'll have to have a word in his ear.
What's the point? He hasn't got the money. Oh, I've waved that goodbye. No, what's bothering me more than losing the money is him telling me he'll pay me back next week. Next week. He's supposed to be here for Christmas. I can still see him here at Easter.
You're my kind of woman.
Now, that's the sort of thing that could keep me awake at night.
But I mean it.
Oh.
Seriously. You're carving a niche for yourself in what is predominantly a male world. I approve of that.
A niche in a grotty little garage.
Oh, it's not that grotty.
Oh, no, I can say it. You can't. No business is good. And I'll say it myself because nobody else will. I've done a very good job there, yeah. What's more, I'd like to go on doing it.
Any reason why you shouldn't?
Well, that kind of depends.
On what?
Who takes over? Are you playing games with me?
No. That wouldn't interest me at all. Jay will take over. I can tell you that much straight away. He set his heart on it, so that's that. He thought you might be worried, though. And that, in turn, worried me.
Why should it worry you?
Well, I've just been telling you. I like what you're doing there. I admire it. I wish I could do something of the same sort, but I can't. I just don't have the flair.
Oh, come on.
No. I am essentially the woman behind the man, not the woman out there doing it, which, in a sense, makes me a little less independent than you are. But I do have my little say, wield influence. And that I enjoy very much.
How nice for you.
Could be nice for you, too.
Come on, tell me more.
Jay, as you know, is something of a sick man. He doesn't fire on all cylinders anymore. Well, I'd be perfectly happy for him to paddle around in the shallows for a while by way of an unwinding so gradual to retirement that he'll hardly notice it. Now, buying half a garage should give him an involvement that, well, should put very little strain on him, don't you agree?
Oh, sure, but like you just said, he's made up his mind to get it, so he's going to get it, so what's it got to do with me?
Well, I have this feeling that a tough lady like you could make waves, and I don't want that. I want it all perfectly calm in those waters. And in return, I'll see to it that you'll get all the independence you need.
How do I know I can count on that?
Because I said so, darling. And what I say goes.
Yeah, I feel much better for that.
Good.
Hey.
Uncle Wally, do you mind if I ask you something?
No, anything you like, lass.
It's not on, is it, Wally? I mean, all right, you're Arthur's cousin, and Mum was glad of the company over Christmas. But you can't make it permanent.
Oh, no, I mean, it never entered my head. You know, lad. I mean, if I thought that I'd outstayed my welcome, I'd just pack my bag and go.
It isn't that we don't want you here.
Yes, it is. Now, come on, let's be straight about it. It's time you're on your way.
Oh, well, I suppose you're right, really. I've been getting too fond of you all. That's been the trouble, you know. Beginning to settle a mistake. Right. Right, well, I'll pack my bag and get along then and find myself a job.
Manchester, eh?
Anywhere they'll have me, love.
Ah, here it is. Right alphabetical order, but wrong file.
Well, then I ought to have the receipt, and I haven't.
I found it.
What in?
Outstanding.
Oh, it's incredible. I sense inefficiency.
Gross. Actually, it's most uncharacteristic.
Well, she had to get used to my system. It's not the same as the one she had in the summer.
I also sense, as nobody's mentioning my daughter by name, that she is the centre of this cyclone.
Well, yes, if you want to know, actually she is. Now, which one of us is going to try and get her mind back on her work?
You try, Jill.
Well, I have. And all she said was she could do better if she could have a couple of days off.
Did you give them to her?
Well, yes. Oh, Barbara, that reminds me, I'd like 2 days off as well.
Oh, I'll switch with me. I don't mind.
You've already been switched.
What?
Oh, didn't Paul Ross tell you? Oh, honestly, this is all getting to the most absolute mess. Kate, you were here. Do you remember?
Yes, Paul said he wanted a couple of days off, so he arranged to switch all the duties with David.
Oh, really? Well, makes no odds to me, but I just wish I could be told sooner when my husband shifts me around, that's all.
Yes, it does make it easier for a wife to know where she is. I wonder where Paul Ross will be spending his 2 days off. Did he say?
No, he didn't.
I'm not surprised.
Ah, Kate. Good. I've been looking for you. It's about the casino. It suddenly occurred to me that as a consequence of the impending trial, you might be struck out of Moran's will. So I had a word with my solicitors, and they tell me that you won't necessarily lose the casino in the event of a finding of manslaughter. So, in case the casino should devolve upon you...
Well, if it does, I should refuse it. Whatever the verdict, I was there when the owner died, and I shall never know whether I killed him or not. Now, I shouldn't have said that. Please don't make me say anything else.
My dear, I merely want to make a contingency bid. You understand what a contingency bid is, do you? It's simply that I here and now make you a fair offer for something that you do not yet own. Some people might think it very good of me.
What you're saying to Kate is that if she comes to own the casino, that she will have to sell it to you because you have covered that contingency.
Thank you, Barbara. Very clearly put.
Except how much you offering? Half the value of the casino?
Oh, please, stop it, all of you. My life with Tony was tied up in that casino, and to stand here arguing about contingency bids... I'm sorry. I refuse to haggle over the property of a dead man I once loved.
Nearly ready.
Ah, it smells lovely.
Yeah, nice bit of stewing steak and carrots. I've had it simmering all day. I thought you could have a wash.
I did.
What, put your dirty shirt back on, oh, honestly.
Oh, well, I mean, it's the only one I've got, Kath, you know. Barring that old flannel one.
Oh. Well, I'll see if I've got one of Arthur's upstairs. There's still some of his things up there.
Oh?
I've been waiting for the Salvation Army to come and collect her. Got rid of most of it.
Oh, you wouldn't have an overcoat up there, would you? I mean, the one I'm wearing, you know, lets in the draft.
Oh, yes, I expect so. I suppose you've had your eye on it anyway.
Well, you know, it's a lovely coat. It's a pity to waste it.
Well, it wouldn't be wasted, would it? I mean, there's plenty of homes that could go to, you know.
I suppose there is. And perhaps more deserving. Hmm?
Well...
Ah, Kath, you should have told me.
Told you what?
That I was beginning to outstay me welcome. It's a thing I'd never like doing.
But what you talking about?
Well, young Glenda and Kevin kept dropping in, said it's time. I popped off, went on my way.
When did they do that?
Long ago, before they went out. No, and I told them I said, all right. You know, I'll just pack my bags and go. Well, I did right, didn't I?
Look, I can't say I wouldn't miss your company, Wally. I mean, it's not easy, you know, being left on your own. I miss Arthur more than I can tell you.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
So, stay on a bit, won't you, and keep me company?
Oh, I don't like, you know, coming in between and interfering with families.
No, you see, they don't want to talk about Arthur. It's as if he never lived here.
No, death embarrasses the young.
Well, it doesn't embarrass me. And I don't want him forgotten. You see, you knew him when you were young. I mean, talking about him, well, it brings it all back to me. Happy memories.
It's true.
So, stay on a bit, won't you? Just for a few more weeks.
All right, I will. After all, you know, I can't go and leave you all on your own, can I?
Your father's harmless tipple.
Did you get the message at reception confirming your flight booking?
Yes, I did, just before I came on duty.
I got it just before I went off duty. If the agency hadn't have phoned, would I have ever known?
But I was going to go to Paris. Why not?
To spend a few days with whom?
Look, Miranda. Sooner or later, your father's going to find out about our indiscretion. He's going to give me the sack. So I'm going to go to Paris to speak to a hotelier, someone nice and elegant. Be good to have a place of refuge when that day comes.
Which hotelier?
Le Pavillon d'Omar, Gaston Perus, an international chain. Would you like the phone number to check up on me?
And what do I do if some woman answers?
No woman will answer.
Why didn't you tell me you were going to make this trip?
Because you would have wanted to come with me.
And you wouldn't have liked that?
I would have liked it too much in the present circumstances, which is why I decided to go alone.
You might find yourself alone when you get back. Men don't drop me, Paul. I drop them.
Look, Mira.
Your father wants to see you. Please stay, Mr. Ross. Close the door. I understand you're taking a few days off. Where?
Paris.
Why?
Personal.
Personal with whom?
Personal with myself.
Did you know that my daughter is taking a few days off, too?
No, I didn't know that, Mrs. Pollard.
Nor where she's spending them?
No, where she's spending them. Look, why don't you check up with her face to face instead of doing it behind her back?
If you're lying to me, I shall know. And you'll never get over what I'm going to do to you. Never, Mr. Ross.
Are you threatening me, Mrs. Pollard?
Yes. Yes, I